Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. Tempted to get into some NBA talk with it being All-Star weekend and what we're seeing out of Zion Williamson. You know, 2 30-point games or points, games above 32 points, and everything that's going on there. I got a couple thoughts on LeBron, but I'll save that for later. Definitely some bite down boxing talk presented by Pay Me No Mind. I want to keep the same energy with this week's story or situation that came out of Tony Harrison trying to raise some awareness about what happened in the Team Charlo corner during his title fight, his rematch with Jermell Charlo. I'll get into that in just a second. Tonight, it is Friday, Valentine's Day, for those that honor that. February the 14th. Some action tonight. So we have some some cards on the slate. So I want to talk through those really briefly, just mainly the lineups and the times. So over on Showtime, you have the Showbox series, the Proving Grounds program, and it's heavy Ohio and Michigan. Thomas Mattis is back against Isaac Gonzalez. That's a lightweight fight. I think Mattis is one of those guys. He just kind of needs to show he can move to the next level, and I don't think he's been successful at doing that to this point. But he's getting steady work. On the Showbox series. Montana Love also, I believe he's out of Cleveland, super lightweight against Jericho Walton. And then one of my favorite, I don't know if it's a prospect or whatever, but young fighters that I've come across in person the last few years, super welterweight Derek Coleman Jr. out of Detroit. He's taking on Joseph Jackson. Both of those guys, I want to say Coleman is like 11-0 now. Joseph Jackson, I'm not familiar with him, but he's 15-0. So I think that's going to be a pretty interesting fight. And then there's also Ra'is Aleem, super bantamweight against Adam Lopez, who I believe is out of the San Antonio area, maybe. There's two Adam Lopez's out there. I think the one that just lost to Oscar Valdez, but this isn't him. And then also tonight, that's the Showtime as usual. Showbox gets started at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And I think it's kind of staggered somewhat good tonight because also there is a bigger attraction in lightweight Ryan Garcia going up against Francisco Fonseca at the Honda Center, and that will be streaming live on DAZN. So the undercard gets underway at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and then the main card starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's a bit of a gap there. Like I said, sometimes watching DAZN fights on demand, there had been a lag. I think the last time I watched a fight, that lag was not there. And it gets a little confusing where the commentary is sometimes and when, is it behind or is it ahead? So based on which one of those cards, the Showbox or the DAZN, you might have a decision to make. Blair Cobbs is also on there. A welterweight fight with Samuel Nikwe. Jorge Linares, who is a potential, opponent, future opponent in the next fight or two, depending on whether or not maybe Floyd and Oscar can expedite something with Garcia and Tank Davis. But Jorge Linares will be fighting Carlos Morales. And then there's also Alexis Roca and Brad Solomon for the WBC Continental Americas title. That's a welterweight fight. So that's that. Good stuff tonight. And then tomorrow, Caleb Plant and Vincent Feigenbutz. I'm working on a little article to get out there. Hopefully I get it out there tonight, later on. This situation, I did want to come back and be I don't really have much to clean up. I did see some channels that ran out there with the title that Jamel Charlo cheated. I never said that. I said that I suggested that some rules may have been broken, protocol may not have been followed, but I never knew. I never knew what to make of it. And if you go check my Instagram video, first thing I started out with is that I didn't think that Jamel Charlo was a cheater. He showed his letter. He put a screenshot of his letter on his social media accounts. There were some discrepancies with the dates of said letter, but he was cleared. And I said this, I had to believe in the integrity of the game in a world title fight, that there was testing in place, post-fight testing in place, and that everything was above board. I had to believe that. But let me give you my Michael Eric Dyson response in his defense of his attempt at defending his girl Gayle King. Let me give you my Michael Eric Dyson spin on this situation, which is kind of making light of it, but further explaining the importance of it. One of the reasons why a lot of these states, these athletic commissions come out and they have moved to bottled water only, this also protects Jamel Charlo. Because what came out, if you read ESPN.com or Bleacher Report, they both have articles out there on what the California State Athletic Commission came back with. They said that the official who was assigned to the Charlo corner, their cut man, asked him if they could pour some water into a squeeze bottle. And he said yes. So he watched him crack the seal on the bottle of water, pour it in the container, and put it back together. And that's what they started doing later in the fight. Okay. What I'm saying is, very rarely are you allowed. Very rarely that I don't even know if that decision should have been made by that official. And what I was saying was that protects Jamel Charlo, because what if something was in that bottle that he didn't even know about? Now that's plausible deniability, but I'm just saying it's to eliminate all of this. We're all drinking from the same source, the same water. Anybody that's sitting there, it's one less moving piece to be concerned with. You look over there, they have bottled water. You look over here, they have bottled water. It's just trying to keep it uniform and to keep everybody, safe and maintain order. So that was a hell of a decision for that. But again, I guess the catch-all is like, maybe for that official, that California State Athletic Commission, I said that on the Instagram video, for that commission official, did he inspect the water, the Gatorade bottle? Like I said, you deviated from the protocol. I met a lot of the little local club shows. Very rarely do they do that. Maybe because it's a boxing friendly. They have box office fights. They're huge cards. Maybe they make that exception. And yeah, because it's kind of common sense. It's pragmatic. Yeah, man. That'll help you guys manage your corner and whatnot. So go ahead, do it. But like I said, if something had have come up, now we got a problem. And that's the reason why you stick with the water, the sealed bottled water, because it eliminates, in theory, that. Somebody could open up one of the bottled water, take a little eyedropper, put some. All of this stuff can happen. But like I said, my main concern and the thing that I let kind of guide me on it was I figured that testing was in place. And he wouldn't risk that. So it wouldn't be worth the risk. Somebody can tell you, you know, we can do this and I know how to beat this and I blah, blah, blah. Somebody can tell you that. But, you know, the tests come back dirty and now you got to answer for this and now you're losing money. You lose the title. Your name is tarnished. That's a lot to trust somebody to do that. And I just felt like, without knowing whatever, you know, any of the details, that was the major deterrent for there not to be any cheating here. I'll also say, you know, if anybody wanted it, I could send you. I could have added some screenshots of a text of a instant message that I shared with the PBC writer, where I said this might have been the scenario where they poured multiple bottled waters into that container. I just didn't believe that an official would approve that. So that's why I didn't throw that out there. But yeah, I had that discussion in the instant message with a young lady that writes for the PBC day before yesterday. So anyway, man, let me get on out of here. Bite down boxing. Don't let them count you out. Enjoy the fights tonight. 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. main card for DAZN with Ryan Garcia. 10 p.m. Eastern time on Showtime. Thomas Mattis, Montana Love, and the kid making his debut, Derek Coleman Jr. I am out. Pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.